Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I've got a video for you from Judge Wolf, and it's going to come in two parts. This is the dad's testimony, and what happened is Mom decided she was leaving, and she just left a note. He came home, found a note on his kitchen table, and it said, "I fed the dogs and we're out." That's how he found out she was leaving him. And she moved a 5-hour drive away. Now she wants to move at least 3 to 4 hours away farther. And so Dad has decided to file for full custody so that he has his daughter back. I'll let you guys watch.
All right, this is the petition to modify custody, is it correct?
Our petition modified and some the working for divorce, they agree that others they do not specify the mayor in Alabama. So our position is based on the contract that they concurred. My client not believing that his motion can reside in Alabama.
Is there more than one habitable place in Alabama? I actually lived in Alabama early in my life as well. That coast close to the coast. Well, I have family. I will say for the record, I have family. I have a sister and nieces and nephews that live in the great state of Alabama. I'm just lucky that I don't live in Alabama. All right.
So I represent father and grade 7 years. These folks are on the May 2005.
If you don't mind, just coming to the podium since it's so hard to hear in here.
They were residents of Cheatham County. My client still resides at the marital residence. I think he's lived there some 12 years. And when they divorced, the parties entered essentially an agreed parenting plan and a marital dissolution agreement. And the mother, when she separated from the father, went to her parents' home in Alabama, in Alexander City, which is not quite 300 miles away from the father's home in Pleasant View. And the father did agree that the mother and the child could relocate. Of course, the mother could relocate wherever she wanted, but he agreed that the child could reside primarily in Alexander City, Alabama, which is in kind of the northern part, maybe towards the east a little bit, from Huntsville. And so what the parties have been doing since 2023 is they have been meeting, and they've been both driving about 2 hours. And they've been exchanging the child every other weekend. So when the father, it would be our position, Your Honor, that when the father agreed for the child to live in Alabama, it was with the intent that the child would reside with the mother in Alexander City. And the proof will show today that the purpose for him agreeing to that was that the mother would have the support of her extended family, her parents, and such, and that the child would have the benefit of that. And the child would be close enough where the child could still maintain a significant relationship with the father. And they've been doing that since 2023. It also has provided the father with the ability to go to the father-daughter dance at school and go to different school functions. And so it's not been ideal, but it's been something that has worked, and the parties have been able to facilitate. So in November of last year, Your Honor, my client received notice from the mother of her intent to relocate to Alberta, Alabama, which I had to look up where Alberta is. It is near the coast, and it is about 500 miles, give or take just a little bit, from the father's home. So that now puts the child in a position where the child is no longer going to be residing near the child's maternal grandparents, and she's going to be some 200 miles further from the father than she was when the parties divorced. It's our understanding that the mother has remarried and that her husband resides in southern Alabama and that she wishes to reside with him. We believe that she's already moved there. We believe that the proof will show that, but that's what she's going to be asking for today, Your Honor. And it's our position that, number one, the proof will be incumbent upon the mother to prove that the relocation is in the best interest of the child. Proof is a little different when the parties are not exercising equal intervals of time. But we do believe that it is not in the best interest of the child to relocate with the mother. The father is stable. He has a significant relationship with the child. He has stable employment. He still resides in the residence that the child's familiar with and lived at for the first 5 years of her life. The father also has family in the area, and that will be beneficial to the child as well. So we're asking, Your Honor, today to find that well, number one, I do think that we have agreed to stipulate that a material change has occurred. So both parties have alleged that, and in speaking with opposing counsel this morning, we have agreed to stipulate that there's been a material change. Essentially the mother's remarriage and moving some 200 miles further from the father. So it will be incumbent upon the mother to prove best interest for the relocation if the court determines that she should remain the primary residential parent. It's our position also that the factors today, some will be favorable to the mother, in favor of the mother. Some will be favorable to the father. Many will be neutral. But the father hasn't moved since the divorce. He's remained stable. The mother's not only moved from the marital residence, she's now asking to move again, and likely one more time because it appears that maybe a house is being constructed. So it will be our position that the evidence will show in favor of the father, and that the court should in fact grant our petition requesting that his parenting plan be adopted, which is essentially giving all the school breaks to the mother, majority of the summer, spring and fall break, alternating some of the holidays, but many of the holidays to the mother, offering that the mother have one weekend a month in Alberta and one weekend per month in Cheatham County. The parties have essentially their plans, their proposed parenting plans are very close to one another, although the father has been more generous with the offer to the mother in regards to time in the summer. We also are concerned about the amount of time that the child's going to spend in the car. My client's concerned about her safety and just the detriment of being in the car that long, that often. So he would propose that there be some air travel in the mix of vehicle travel. So we are asking the court to approve that there be some air travel. And ultimately, Your Honor, again, we believe that the proof will bear that it's in the best interest of the child for the father to be designated as the primary parent.
Mm.
Your Honor, we did stipulate that there is a material change. We do find that a further distance makes their every other weekend plan unattainable just because of the amount of travel on the child. We have proposed a parenting plan that maximizes dad's parenting time, taking into consideration when this child is off from school. again, father and mother entered into an agreed parenting plan less than in 2023, I believe, and father willingly accepted 85 days. When they litigated this, he was actually represented by counsel and entered into this voluntarily. My client wasn't even represented by counsel at that time. He found that to be in the best interest for him to exercise that parenting plan. You will hear from him today about his work schedule. You will hear that he has been offered additional parenting time and does not accept that when it is offered to him. You know, mom has always been the primary residential parent to this child. This child has a disorder called ulcerative colitis, which we will go over today. Mom has been on top of that disorder since this child has been diagnosed with it. Again, it would be very detrimental, and I don't think that the petitioner can meet the standard to flip-flop who is the primary residential parent. And so we would ask that you would adopt the parenting plan that has been carefully considered by mother and proposed, and adopt that as a court order. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lewis, you may call your first witness. Is anyone other than the parties who's going to be a witness, you must go outside of the courtroom and remain outside of the courtroom until you're called to testify. You must not discuss the testimony of any other witness with anyone until you yourself have testified. So counsel will be under continuing duty to ensure that the rule is complied with. Smith, you'll come up. Need you to stand and raise your right hand and face our court to be placed under oath. Come on, have a seat in the witness stand. You may need to move that microphone up a little bit. And bring it down. This building is beautiful, but it has terrible acoustics, so we need you to speak kind of directly into the microphone. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith, would you state your name for the court, please?
Matthew Smith,
All right, Mr. Smith, where do you live?
Arnold Drive, Pleasant View, Tennessee,
And how long have you lived in that home?
13 years.
And was that the home that was utilized as the marital residence when you were married to Elizabeth Smith?
It is.
All right, and is that the home you brought your daughter home to when she was born?
Absolutely.
All right, and if you would describe the home to the court.
It's not a big home. It's 1,200 square foot. But it's in a nice quiet neighborhood. It's on a cul-de-sac, so we have low traffic. Kind of monitor, what goes on. And
All right, and so Emma, your daughter is Emma Grace, is that right? And does she seem comfortable in the home when she comes to visit with you?
of course,
You know,
What do those photographs depict?
what it looks like inside and
So-
our, I guess, way of living, if you will.
All right, so you have photographs of the exterior of your house, the kitchen, the living room, a bathroom, a bedroom, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that Emma's bedroom?
Yes, it is with the pink curtains there.
She has her own bedroom, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, and.
Exhibit 1.
Sir, now you have not remarried, is that true?
That's correct.
So who lives in the house, with you? Does anyone live in the house with you?
No, just myself.
Okay. And, so when your daughter comes, it's just you and her in the house primarily, is that right? Now, are you in a relationship with someone?
I am,
And what's her name?
Abigail Murdoch.
And is she sometimes in the home?
She is,
Okay. And how long have you been in a relationship with Ms. Murdoch?
roughly 2 years.
2 years? Okay. And does she have a good relationship with Emma? Okay. And does she have a daughter?
She does.
And how old is her daughter?
Her daughter is 15.
And
Sorry, 16.
16. And is her daughter occasionally in the home with
She
you?
is.
Okay, and do her and Emma enjoy one another?
Of course.
All right, and sir, where do you work?
TKE elevator.
And what do you do?
Yes, sir.
What do you do there?
I'm an elevator technician.
And how long have you worked there?
A little over 8 years.
And okay. And sir, what do you
Yearly or hourly? I don't know what they. I do. I am sorry.
what is your hourly rate?
59.41, I believe.
And what are your hours?
40 hours a week, Monday through Thursday.
Okay. And are you off on Friday?
I am
Okay. And then what time do you go in the morning?
6 o'clock,
6 o'clock in the morning. And what time do you get off?
4:30.
So right now you're working essentially, it sounds like maybe 4 10-hour days. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you discussed with your employer the fact that you're asking for your daughter to come live with you primarily?
Absolutely.
And have you been assured that your hours can have some flexibility if that were to occur?
Yes, ma'am. That's
Okay.
correct.
And what would you be able to change your hours to, should you be successful today and Emma come and live with you primarily?
It would change to 5/8, and it wouldn't start till after I dropped him off at school.
All right, so you would work Monday through Friday, and then you would go in like at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, ma'am.
And then would you come home at what time? At 5?
Roughly 4:35 right there.
And then at that point, would you drop Emma off at school personally? Would you be able to do that?
In the morning, yes, ma'am.
And then would she attend aftercare after school until you were able to pick her up?
She would.
Okay. All right. And then, sir, let's get back to what you're earning.
It's a pay stub of mine.
All right. And is the pay ending date 6/19
Yes, ma'am.
of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you will look at your earnings to date, does it state that your gross pay is $38,738.02?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you also have a NT expense where it appears through June 19 of 25 that you were paid $772.02. What does that expense reflect?
That it reflects where I paid out of pocket for certain things for the particular job that I'm on, and the company reimbursing me.
Okay, so that's for an expense that you paid. It's not for income that you earned.
No,
Is
ma'am.
that right? All right. So then would it be your position that should be deducted from your gross pay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Maybe I have that back.
Is it 2?
Now, your divorce became final in May of 2023. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And when you separated from your wife, how did you discover that you were in fact separated?
I got an email that said basically the dogs were fed and that we left.
The dogs were fed and they had left.
And I had no idea where they were at. I had no idea they left the state without consulting, or I had to call around for a couple of days to find out where my daughter was at. And initially, that's what kind of rolled the divorce into play. Not being able to see my daughter is the reason why I filed to begin with.
All right. And where did you learn that your wife had taken your daughter at that point in time?
I finally got in touch with my former mother-in-law, and she answered the phone, and
Was your
said
daughter-
they are here.
All right. And where is here? Where did your mother-in-law, your former mother-in-law reside?
That was Alexander City, Alabama.
Okay. And describe to the court where Alexander City, Alabama is.
It's kind of in between Auburn and Birmingham, about 30 minutes from Auburn, so towards the eastern side. But it's a good clip.
Okay. And when you say towards the eastern, you mean, okay, east of Birmingham.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how long had you and your wife been married?
7, 8 years.
Okay. And so you knew your in-laws rather well, right? They've
Yes,
been
ma'am.
part of your family for a good while. And did you believe that they were close to your daughter and had a good relationship with her?
The grandmother did travel back and forth and to see Emma a good bit for the first couple of years. So I did believe that Emma, had a good relationship with the grandmother.
Okay. And ultimately, did you and your ex-wife, did you discuss she and Emma, specifically Emma, continuing to reside with her in Alexander City, Alabama?
No, ma'am, not before we agreed on the divorce and how that paperwork laid out, I guess.
But ultimately, you did agree that the mother would be the primary parent of Emma. Is that right?
I did.
Okay. And you agreed that she could relocate. Now, your paperwork says to Alabama. When you signed and entered that parenting plan, what did you believe or understand that to have meant?
Well, the wordage in the papers states within 50 miles of the primary residence, within the state or within 50 miles.
Are you talking about where the relocation statute is set out?
Yes, ma'am.
But you don't dispute that your paperwork says that the mother can relocate to the state of Alabama.
I
Is that
did.
right?
I do not.
Okay. But was it your understanding that if she were to move more than 50 miles from that location or outside the state of Alabama, that she would have to provide you with notice and prove certain things if you objected?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you ever, when you entered that parenting plan, did you ever intend on it meaning that she could live anywhere in the state of Alabama, that your daughter could live anywhere in the state of Alabama that the mother chose?
No, ma'am.
Show you a copy.
Selena, so that I'm sure, make sure that I'm following everything correctly. I'm looking at the court file, and the primary and the permanent parenting plan that I'm looking at is May 23rd of 2023.
That is correct.
And that designates them as joint primary residential parents. So there was never a designation of either of them as the primary residential parent, correct?
That is correct, John.
So we are today going to be establishing a primary residential parent for the first time, as well as schedule.
That is correct, John.
It makes a difference on what I'm doing as far
Certainly.
as the evidence and the burden of proof for the court to consider if it's a change of primary residential parent.
That is absolutely correct, Your Honor. It does designate them as joint primary residential parent. And then, sir, may I approach, Your Honor?
Right. You may be the primary residential parent in fact, but under the language of the order that was signed by Judge Lockett Mack, these parties were designated as joint primary residential parents. I just point that out. I understand what you're saying, and it was not an equal division of time. So.
And we don't deny that the child's residing primary. No. but Your Honor is correct. It does designate them as joint. All right, sir. Parenting penalty.
A Raceway gas station in Priceville, Alabama. It's right about Decatur, if you guys are familiar with Decatur.
So very close to Huntsville, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. It's 2.5 hours from Pleasant View.
And about the same distance from the mother's home, is that correct?
Correct.
Now, are you still meeting there?
Yes.
And what time do you exercise right now with your daughter?
Every other weekend, and then we alternate holidays. And we alternate spring and fall breaks, and 2 weeks. 2 weeks in the summer, 1 week at Christmas every year.
Okay. And all of the travel has been by car, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you have your daughter with you, describe the types of things that you do. What kind of activities do you do? What's your weekend look like?
I mean, we do all kinds of things together. I mean, usually when we get home Friday night, it's usually fairly late from traveling. So there's not a lot to do, but, eat and hang out and watch TV and go to sleep, but Saturdays is usually have some sort of errands planned, and then she gets up, she helps clean, she helps, do chores, and then we go off to venture, whether it's, go play, do something outside, or sometimes we'll leave and go somewhere, and I'll take her go dancing maybe on Saturday night sometimes. Just anything to get to spend that time with her,
Okay.
She does pretty much everything that I would do without her. She does that with me.
Okay. All right. And then who lives in the area as far as your family?
I've got several aunts and uncles. I've got my grandparent that live in the area. I've got my mother, which I don't see her a whole lot, but I do have quite a bit of family here in Pleasant View.
Okay. And is your daughter familiar with your family?
Yes, ma'am.
And does your daughter get to see your family very often right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And does she enjoy being around your family?
Yes.
Are you concerned that if her mother moves some 200 miles further south, that her time with either sets of grandparents and extended family is going to be limited?
Yes, ma'am.
Was one of the reasons why you agreed for her to live primarily in her mother's care? Was it because there was extended family there as well?
Of course.
Okay. And tell the court what your involvement has been in Emma's school. Have you been able, with the distance right now of almost 300 miles, have you still been able to be involved in her school?
I have.
Okay.
Not as much as what I'd like. I haven't got to make all the field trips, but I have been to the school several times for dances. I was running a little late for one little ceremony thing, which I regret, but I have tried to make all the school events that I can possibly go to or be invited to.
Okay.
I've never missed a single visitation with her in the over 2 years that we've had the divorce, or we've been separated, other than the doctor not releasing me because of surgery on my foot. That was one weekend out of 2.5, I'd say 2 years and 2 or 3 months.
Okay. Now you mentioned surgery. Let's talk about the surgery. So you had foot surgery, was it this year?
Yes, ma'am.
When was it?
In January.
Okay.
Beginning of January.
And what kind of surgery? I mean, I know it was foot surgery, but
It was called a plantar fasciotomy.
okay. And were you in a boot?
I was.
Okay. Could you not drive for a period of time?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
How long was it before you could drive after surgery?
A 2-week period.
So did you miss a visitation during that time?
1 weekend, yes, ma'am.
Have there been times when the mother has offered you extra time that you've not been able to accept because of work or surgery or something of that nature?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Of course, the surgery, and there has been times where I've already had work scheduled where she's wanted me to get her an extra day. Prior to this year, the previous summer, I got her several weeks in a row on the Fridays that I normally don't work. I got her several weeks in a row that year, but I haven't this year. Just because one, I didn't want to get in trouble with the court and do something that they're not, requiring or saying, for me to do.
Do you understand, and I don't think you did, but do you understand now that you and the mother, you can deviate from the parenting plan if you agree, as far as the schedule goes?
I wasn't under the impression that we could change anything
Okay,
outside of what it called for.
okay. So, and often the court will encourage that if you're able to, if you agree. If you don't agree, then you have a parenting plan to fall back on. So, what are your concerns about the mother relocating 200 more miles from your home?
One, well, my daughter doesn't have any of the support from the extended family outside of the guy she married. She doesn't have anybody down there. My dad is down there a couple hours away temporarily, but he's not going to be there long. So she has nobody that I know that I can trust her with down there. And, in the event of a storm or hurricane or anything for that matter, she doesn't have the support. And two, just being that far away from me, like, takes me completely out of any school events that I could possibly want to attain or go to. Pretty much takes me out of her life as a dad in a big way. And because a lot of that I did agree to in Alex City initially, because I could make that drive and still be functional and still be in those events and things. But I can't do that when she's 8+ hours away.
Right, right. Tell the court what it has meant to your daughter for you to be able to participate in some of those school things. What have you seen as far as her responses to you going to the school, going to the daddy-daughter dance and those types of things?
She's just ecstatic. Me and my daughter, we're two peas in a pod, and I think anybody would tell you that. She means the world to me, and anytime that we get together, she wants it, and she asks me all the time to stay. Daddy, can I just stay? I don't want to go. I don't want to go, and I don't want her to go either.
Sure. If the court, well, let me ask you, have you met your ex-wife's new husband?
I have not.
Do you even know when they were married or if they're married?
I assume they got married back late last year.
Okay, but that's an assumption, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you've not been able to meet him.
No, ma'am.
Now, we asked several questions in our discovery, the questions that we sent to your ex-wife to answer about the ex-husband. Do you remember what those responses were?
Not all of them, no, ma'am, but some of them.
Were many of them that it wasn't relevant to the case and were answers not provided?
That's correct.
Does that concern you?
It does. I don't know if there's something there or not. I just don't know.
Okay. Do you know that he has children?
I do.
Okay, and how do you know that?
Well, my daughter immigrated. She Tells me everything.
Okay. And your ex-wife did disclose that there were 2 children, or 3 children actually, that he has in her discovery. Is that right? She did disclose that, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you don't have
Let me
any,
make sure I'm understanding. You're saying that they declined to answer any questions about her present husband?
for the most part, Your Honor, yes, the majority of the questions. And you don't have any other children, is that right?
No, ma'am.
And the mother doesn't have any other children, does she?
No.
She has no biological children. Okay. And if she's been married to this man, you believe it would only be for a few months.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so if she were to reside primarily here, would she go to Pleasant View Elementary School?
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Okay. And then in 5th grade, would she go to Sycamore Middle School?
Yes, ma'am.
And then in high school, she would go to Sycamore High School. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you heard opposing counsel in opening statement state that your daughter that she suffers from colitis.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. Tell the court a little bit about that. When was that diagnosis made?
I believe she was 2 years old. It's basically a disease where one cell attacks their stomach lining and causes internal bleeding. And some of it is believed to be brought on by certain foods, but a big part of it is brought on by stress. And so I try to, maintain and make sure she's not in a stressful environment. We're having a good time. Not that everything's always hunky dory. But
Right, can't have a good time all the time.
right. But it flares up from time to time and she will start bleeding a little bit. And so that's something that I'm definitely mindful of, and I definitely try to keep under wraps.
Okay.
As far as cooking good meals for her, and just making sure that she's not getting worked up over, silly stuff.
Okay. All right. And do you feel like you're perfectly capable to follow doctor's instructions in regards to her condition?
Absolutely.
Are
100%.
Are you perfectly capable of being aware of signs and symptoms of when she's having a flare up?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have concerns that perhaps her diet's not being followed carefully at mom's house?
I do.
And what are those concerns?
Mainly just, just small talk with my daughter about, what do you want to eat? Well, what have you been eating lately or whatever? And most of the time she tells me hot dogs, which is not a horrible food, but it's not great because it's processed. And I'm not going to say that I don't give her hot dogs. She's a kid, and yeah, of course I do. But just this last week, I asked her, what would you have for dinner? Well, Mama said I can have a Nutella sandwich, which is just straight sugar. So it's not, I'm not saying that it's all bad there. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, I do have concerns about, what she's getting fed and her stomach condition there.
Okay. And you would be able to find a pediatrician, and the necessary, maybe the IG doctor to care for her here. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am. She had one here.
Okay. Was her original doctor here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And would you be able to get off work to take her to the doctor if necessary?
Of course.
Okay. And then in the summer, so I want to make sure that I understand and you understand, you're proposing in your proposed parenting plan that your daughter reside primarily with the mother during the summer. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let me get that so you can be looking at it. Should go to
Yes, ma'am.
and are you proposing that she was quite involved in. And 1 weekend promotion.
Yes, ma'am.
And we were also in addition, if she went to Tennessee over in the
Yes, ma'am.
and um,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
standard share of person.
Yes, ma'am.
You're at
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
and then in the summer, are you not the first 2 weeks of the summer vacation? And then she has 6 consecutively?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Providing that air travel is not done. Yes, ma'am.
Not in the car, 8 hours each way, once a month, if possible.
Absolutely.
Tell the court why is that?
Statistically, just I'm not a big statistic guy, but the chances of her getting in an accident are a lot higher if she's traveling 2 to 4 times, 8 hours each way per month.
So you worry about that, is that correct?
I really do.
Okay. And what airport would she be close to, if the mother did relocate with her, or if the mother visits with her from Baldwin County?
Pensacola.
All right. Do you know how far that is from Pensacola?
I would say roughly 45 minutes, an hour, I'm guessing. I didn't really put a
So
tape on it.
not terribly far for the mother to drive to facilitate air travel, right?
No, ma'am.
And not terribly far for you in Nashville, to get her to and from the airport here. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so whatever the decision the court makes today, are you asking the court to consider allowing your daughter to travel back and forth between you and the mother via air travel?
I am. Yes, ma'am.
I want to back up. You received notification from the mother of her intent to relocate, in the late, well, I guess early winter, November of 2024. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. This is posted certified mail with a notice regarding parental relocation.
All right.
Yes, ma'am, it does. Yes, ma'am. Alberta, Alabama. Yes, ma'am. She said that the pickup and drop off times would not change. In effort to protect the father and the daughter's time together. I do. I do. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that you got transportation 2 times a month or every other weekend from Southern Alabama?
I do.
You believe she can handle it?
Yes.
Okay. What would that mean in the car for her though? That'd be 8.5 hours each way, right? If she drove.
Oh, I was referring to by air, but,
You believe she could handle it if it were by air?
yes, ma'am.
All right. And then
Seems we have much longer to go with this.
yeah, I probably have another 30 minutes.
Let's go ahead and take our lunch hour down and, be back in 1:15. Ready to resume, come back to the stand, Mr. Smith. I would remind you, you remain under oath.
I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but I want to ask you about your financial stability. We talked a little bit about what you were earning and what you earned year to date. Now, in 2024, you had a particularly good year. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And-
We were short-staffed, so we were working a lot of overtime.
Okay. And are you kind of back to normal right now?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you on average earn about $79,000 a year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you able to pay your bills? Okay.
Absolutely.
Are you current on your bills?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a house payment?
Yes, ma'am.
How much is that house payment?
I think the taxes went up. It's right there around 800 a month.
800. And then you have your utilities, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you have a car payment?
No, ma'am.
All right. So you have insurance, I'm sure, gas, and all the normal things that people have just to live from day to day, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. But you're able to pay those and you're not delinquent in any debt currently.
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And then in your stability, your job is stable,
Yes, ma'am.
not likely going anywhere anytime soon with it.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. And then I want to talk about, the things that you do and that the two of you are close. You provided me with some cards and drawings and such. May I approach them? What are those?
These are letters that Emma wrote me and sent in the mail.
Okay, are these from your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and her mother was kind enough to send these to you, or to help Emma send them to you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And just look at the first one with the drawing. I think we all guessed it. We said it was a bull. Is that a bull?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's a rider on top of it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, I'll pass these up so you can be looking at them as well. Mr. Smith, what does the drawing say with the bull rider?
It says, I love you so much. You're the best night I've ever had. And I'm really glad to have you. I love you, Emma.
Okay. And then the next one with the rainbow.
Dear Daddy, I love you. How's work going? I miss Miss Abby. Is Miss Abby doing good? Say hi to Uncle Stephen. I miss you and Miss Abby. I love camping. When I'm coming back, when am I coming back? I love Emma Grace Smith.
Do you and she go camping sometimes?
We do.
Okay. And have you taken her to a rodeo?
I have. We go watch bull riding together. It's one of the things we do.
Where do you go watch bull riding around here?
Just different rodeos. around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what does the third one say?
Dear Daddy, I love you so much. I love you to the moon and back. You are so special to me. I'm not sure what the rest of that is.
Okay. And is it fair to say that you have received these over time? Because it looks like the rainbow one, the writing's improving somewhat.
Yes, these are just the most recent.
Okay. All right. And does it mean a lot to you when you receive those?
It really does.
collectively. She asked about Miss Abby, and Abby's your girlfriend,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? And you said you've been in a relationship with her about 2 years,
Yes, ma'am.
live with her stable,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? Does she do drugs?
No, ma'am.
Okay. She in trouble with the law?
No, ma'am.
Do you do drugs?
No, ma'am.
Are you in trouble with the law at all? Do you?
Never have been. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. You don't drink too much, do you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, there's been some assertions by your wife or your ex-wife that she believes that you have a you're familiar that she feels that way. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever watched material in front of your daughter?
Absolutely not.
And just, I mean, tell the court, is that something that you have a problem with?
It is not. It is something I do occasionally, once every couple months, maybe, if I had to put a number on it. But
Okay,
it's not something that I have an issue. It's just a stress relief.
okay. And is there any material or anything that your daughter could get her hands on?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And if she were to live with you full time, or even when she visits with you, do you take steps to make sure that she doesn't have access to any of that material?
I do.
Okay. And do you have a passcode on your phone?
I do have passcode and fingerprint and facial recognition
Okay.
to get into my phone.
Okay. And you've never been charged with any type of crime in that regards, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Nothing you're doing is illegal. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
And then how is your communication with Ms. Smith?
I'd say that it's on a need to know basis.
Okay. She keeps you informed she does a pretty good job of keeping you informed. You would agree to that, right?
Yes, ma'am, she does.
Okay. She notifies you when your daughter has special events.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And she lets you know, for example, if you're going to the school, where to go, and what time you need to be there. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, she was a school teacher at your daughter's school.
She was.
Okay. All right. And do you respond most often when she reaches out to you?
If it's a message that needs a response, a lot of times I feel that she's just being chatty, and I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But if it's, I need to communicate in order to, whatever take place with the arrangements or whatever, then I will do that.
Okay.
But I don't communicate unnecessarily, I guess.
Okay. Is
She was-
she probably, does she maybe talk more than you do or communicate more than you do? Are you kind of quiet?
For sure.
Okay. Now, if the court were to designate you as the PRP and your daughter resided with you primarily, are you willing to increase your communication?
Yes, as it needs it.
Would you be willing to notify the mother of any doctor's appointments, school functions, those types of things?
Of course.
Would you be willing to send letters to mom if Emma asked you to?
Of course.
Okay. Initiate phone calls, those types of things.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Have there been things just with Emma living 4 hours away that you haven't been able to attend that you wish you could have?
I mean, the fact that she's getting to the age where she is going to start attending sports and those kind of things is something that I would miss out on a daily basis. 4 hours away.
Well, she's 4 hours right now. Well, how far is she right now? 4 hours?
Well, they already moved.
Well, presume prior to the move, if they've already moved, how it's 4 hours from here to Alexander City, where your ex-wife's parents lived and where she lived. Is that right?
5 hours.
5?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So 2.5 each way. All right. My question to you is, have there been things just with there being a 5.5 hour distance that you've not been able to attend because of the 5.5 hour distance?
I wouldn't say that it's because of that. Some of it was on me. I
Okay.
did show up late to one of her events. I mistook the time that was sent to me. That was my mistake.
Okay.
Uh,
How late were you?
a couple hours, but I went
Okay.
ahead and drove the whole way and showed up anyway to get her.
Okay. Okay.
I would say that, her day-to-day stuff, like just me being in her life daily, I've missed out on.
Sure. Just by her being 5.5 hours late.
Right.
I mean, away, not late.
And
Right.
then, like on Sundays, I don't per se get to take her to church a whole lot because we're traveling, during the middle of the day to go to church or to go to the meeting spot.
What time does the current parenting plan have you meeting the mother on Sunday?
1 o'clock,
And in order to make that meeting time, what time do you have to leave Pleasant View?
10 o'clock.
You have to leave at 10.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're on the road by 10. Okay. Your daughter likes to attend church, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And would you like to be able to take her to church?
I would. I actually have taken her a couple occasions to my church
Mhm.
and then a couple occasions to my girlfriend's church, which they have a Saturday evening service. So we've attended that a couple of times.
Okay. All right. And I'm sure you're going to be asked about your daughter was baptized recently, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And when was that?
I was back last year.
Okay. And were you not able to go to her baptism?
I wasn't.
And why is that?
I couldn't get off work.
Okay. Was it on a Sunday? Did you have to work on you have to work
Well,
overtime sometimes?
At the
don't you?
time, I was working a lot of weekends to try
Okay.
and make things,
So-
make ends meet.
So that was back in 24.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Sir, I want to show you. You should. That I just handed you.
This is the what you call the directions from Pleasant View to Alex City.
Okay. And how many miles, if you look at the top right, how many, and this is to where you had agreed for the mother to live, and for your daughter to reside primarily with initially in the divorce. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how many drive miles is it?
296.
Okay. All right. And then which again is the directions. And how many, and this is from the new proposed address, is that right? To your address?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the drive miles?
493 miles.
All right. So almost 200 miles additional.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to mark this as the next elected exhibit. Sir, do you believe that your environment where you live and your situation with work, your housing and such, do you believe that you have a more stable environment for Emma?
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Tell the court why.
Well, one, starting with the surroundings, we have a lower crime rate here. But bigger than that, she has the support of all my family that lives here.
Okay.
On top of me being there emotionally and physically for her.
Okay. And where were you born and raised?
Born in North Carolina, raised here in
Raised here.
Middle Tennessee.
Okay. How long have you lived in Middle Tennessee?
My whole life, pretty much since I was a baby.
Okay. And you said you've lived in the marital residence for 12 years.
13, roughly.
13.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Worked at your job for 8 years.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And the marital residence is the house that your child was brought back to after she was born.
It is.
Do you have any plans on moving again?
No, ma'am.
Now, what kind of work does your ex-wife's new husband do? What have you been told?
I heard that he was assistant pastor at a church
Okay.
and maybe a coach of some sort. And that's all I've been told.
Okay. And are you concerned that there might be subsequent moves in the future?
I am. I've been in church, pretty much my whole life, and I know how much pastors bounce around from church to church until they find a home where they want to settle down, and that's something that we've seen in our church a lot, and I just know that it's likely.
Right. Seems like you just get used to a pastor and they move, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And do you believe that that would be in your daughter's best interest to move from place to place?
I don't.
Would you like to see her in a stable, at a stable location, and have the opportunity to go to the same school, have the same friends, those types of things?
I would. That's
What grade was she in this past year?
first grade.
All right. And so she'll be going into the second grade.
Yes, ma'am.
So she'll not only switch communities, she'll switch schools as
Yes,
well.
ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pass you as a witness to opposing counsel. So just stay put. Oh, if I could, just for clarification, Your Honor, well, let me just ask him if I could ask him one more thing. I had asked you about discovery responses that your ex-wife had filled where she made some objections regarding questions regarding her husband to be, whichever it is. She actually, after those objections, did provide us with some information. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Maybe not all information, but she did provide some information. All right. That's the witness.
Yeah, and just going off of the, when we did discovery a while ago, you never through counsel sent a deficiency letter to us to let us know that you wanted more information. Is that correct?
Regarding,
Any questions we objected to?
I didn't know that was an option, but no, ma'am, I didn't.
And y'all never issued supplemental questions to us? Okay. And the objections we had were to providing some personal information related to his children, but we told you generally that he has 3 kids. We just didn't tell you their names or date of birth. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
And we also didn't tell you his rate of pay, but we told you what he does for a living. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I want to go back to just, again, you and your divorce. So you and the mother entered into an agreed permanent parenting plan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And under that plan, you agreed that mother could relocate to Alabama with your daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you never filed anything to the court to have her return to Tennessee?
No, ma'am.
And no one forced you to agree to that relocation. Is that fair?
No, ma'am.
And you were represented by an attorney during the proceedings. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you had every opportunity at that time to raise an objection to the relocation. Is that correct?
I was advised against it.
Okay. But you had that option. Is that correct?
I did. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you signed a parenting plan that you thought was in the best interest that gave you 85 days of parenting time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understood that by signing that plan, you were voluntarily limiting your parenting time with your daughter based on what you thought was in the best interest. Is that correct?
Can you ask that again? I'm
I
sorry.
mean, it was all voluntary. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You voluntarily took only 2 weeks in the summer, even with the long distance. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, and you agreed that living with her mom was in your daughter's best interest. Is that correct?
At the time, yes, ma'am.
And while, the box was checked that y'all were joint primary, you agreed for mom to have significantly more parenting time than you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at the time that y'all entered this parenting plan, mom was not even represented by an attorney. Is that correct?
She used the same one I used.
Well, you were represented. Okay, but she didn't have her own attorney. Is that fair?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, in the plan, there's no attorney signature for her. Is that fair?
I can't speak on something I don't know, honestly.
Well, do you think you had a full and fair opportunity to negotiate your parenting time at that time?
It was my mistake to listen to my prior attorney that said that I would never get her to stay in Tennessee. That's a mistake I made. But yes, to answer your question,
But you could have always gotten new counsel if you didn't like their advice. Is that fair?
that's fair.
You had that option.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it true that you've seen mom's proposed parenting plan? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that plan allows you the same amount of parenting time, if not more. Is that fair?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're aware that your daughter has been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which we touched upon, correct? And would you agree that that's a chronic medical condition that requires ongoing management and monitoring?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would you agree that it can require, if she has a flare-up, urgent medical attention and prescription adjustments?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar with the name of her current gastroenterologist?
I'm not. I can't remember right off the top of my.
Since that diagnosis, how many medical appointments have you attended with your daughter with her gastroenterologist?
Just believe two.
2 appointments. You went down to Alabama to go to those?
No, that they were here in Tennessee.
Has mom attended every appointment with your daughter?
I'm assuming.
Have you ever taken her to a gastroenterologist appointment by yourself?
No, ma'am.
Can you even name the last date that she went to the doctor?
No, ma'am.
But you get updates from mom about what goes on at the doctor's. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Have you ever had to schedule any of her appointments, follow up with the labs, or request records for your daughter's health care?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever had to take her to the emergency or urgent care for her ulcerative colitis?
No, ma'am.
Are you aware of the medication she takes daily to manage her symptoms?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you know the dosage and frequency?
I just know what the mother sends, because she takes it out of the pill bottles and that kind of thing. So I know how many she takes in the morning and the evening.
So she puts it in like a thing where you can give it.
Calendar. Yes, ma'am.
So you trust mom to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when your daughter's in your care, who ensures that she takes the medication properly?
In my care, I am.
You do, but based on what mom tells you, not based on what you heard from the doctor? You rely on mom to take care of that? Tell you
Well,
what she needs?
I do now because it was a liquid medication. So the dosage obviously is written on the bottle or whatever. And then they went to the pill form a while back. So she said she takes the pills out of the thing and puts it in Monday through Sunday.
And that's helpful to you.
Of
You
course.
trust her to do that. Have you ever had to pick up or refill her prescriptions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Would you agree that mother has been the primary parent to manage your daughter's health day to day?
No, ma'am.
You've been to 2 appointments, but and mom handles all the medications, but you wouldn't agree to that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you familiar with the early signs of a flare-up and the steps that need to be taken?
Yes, ma'am.
And has mom kept you informed of her medical needs and upcoming appointments?
She has.
Okay. Have you ever requested to attend an appointment or change an appointment such that you can attend on your day off?
When she first got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, it's hard for me to pronounce. I did attend a couple of those appointments because I was concerned about how we needed to move forward.
But since then, since they've been in Alabama, you've not asked her to move it to a Friday because you're off on a Friday or anything along those lines?
No,
Okay. Would you agree that given the seriousness of the condition, active participation or care is important?
of course.
Okay, and I just want to go briefly back to, when the mom was even pregnant with your daughter. Did you attend any of her OBGYN appointments?
I'm sorry.
Going back to in utero, mother was pregnant, child.
How is that relevant if it's pre-divorce?
Your Honor, just showing a pattern that he's not attended any of these appointments and that mom is,
We're dealing with what's happened since the prior order of sustaining objection.
okay. I want to move on to your marriage. After your daughter was born, mom stayed home with her full time. Is that correct?
Well, again, I'm not sure how it's relevant if it's prior to the divorce.
Your Honor, I just want to establish that mom was a stay-at-home mom during the marriage by agreement of the parties, which is relevant. It's never been litigated.
I'll allow that question.
Okay. So during your marriage, was the mom a stay-at-home mom and provided care for your daughter on the daily? Is
Yes,
that correct?
ma'am.
Okay. And she didn't work outside the home until y'all were separated. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was a decision y'all made jointly. Is that correct?
For us to be separated, no.
Well, for her to be a stay-at-home mother to your daughter,
No, she decided that.
but you allowed it. You were able to support your family?
I've always supported my family, yes.
Okay. And mom during that time has always handled the daily care for your daughter, including feeding her, bathing her, diaper changes.
Absolutely not. Not by herself.
So when you would get off work because you said you worked 10 hours a day, you would help, but during those 10 hours, who was watching the baby or the child?
Of course she was.
Okay. If your daughter was sick, did mom handle that?
Not always. It was a joint thing.
So did you ever take off work to help with a sick child?
I have once, yes, ma'am.
You've taken off work once
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say, though, that mom has provided consistent hands-on care for your daughter for her entire life?
I would say so.
And then I want to go on to your employment. So you are employed full-time and you currently work, you said. Can you remind me of when you work?
The hours?
Yes, in the days.
So it'll be 6 to 4:30.
Do you ever have to leave earlier due to a job site being further away or anything along those lines?
In the mornings or in the evenings?
Do you ever have to leave earlier in the mornings?
Not really. Most of the work is here local in Nashville.
Okay. But you mentioned, though, that you've had to work on weekends before.
I have.
Okay. And that is still a possibility with your position?
Not right now. It's not, no. They're not doing any overtime.
if your company decides to do overtime again, would you be scheduled for it or opt for it?
If I got selected,
In the past, you've been selected to do overtime. Is that
yeah, I
fair?
have. Yes, ma'am.
And taken that opportunity? Have you ever had to have a caregiver other than the mother watch the child while you were at work?
No, ma'am.
So if you had your daughter had an emergency during school hours and say she lived here with you, would you be able to just leave work to go handle that?
Absolutely.
And your company would be okay with that?
They are okay with that. I have spoken to them about that.
But they're not here today to testify to that.
No,
Okay. Would you say your job is very flexible during the day?
I guess it's as flexible as I need it to be.
I mean, do you have the ability to work from home for your position if
I don't.
needed?
No.
Yours is pretty hands-on. Was
Yes,
that
ma'am.
fair? Okay. And would you agree that you've missed some of your child's important events in the past due to work obligations?
Yes, ma'am. There's one that I can think about.
And was that the award ceremony?
No, ma'am. That
Different.
was her baptism where I had to work that weekend.
I do want to talk about that baptism. You and the mom reached out to you on June 23rd about that baptism. Is that correct?
I'm guessing. I'm not the best with records.
Let me ask, do you recognize?
And it looks familiar. Yes,
So,
ma'am.
is that you can hold on to? Is that a fair and accurate representation of a conversation mom had with you, I guess, back in June of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, I would like to enter this. So mom reached out to you and said, hey there, the pastor reached out to me again, said we could do her baptism July the 14th. I could ask him about next Sunday, the 30th. Do you have a preference or should I choose? Did you respond to the mother?
Most of the time I respond prior to us, her telling me that they're moving. Most of the time I responded during the phone conversation because a lot of times things get misinterpreted through text messages. So I can't say that I responded through a text message because most of the time I would rather do it over the phone.
Just about a simple scheduling, preference to see if you could make it work on your calendar, you would respond via the phone?
Yeah, whatever was applicable at the time.
Well, then she texted you the next day and said, the church just contacted me. They have Emma down for July the 14th at 10:30 a.m. to be baptized. I know Emma would love for you to be there, and she sent you the address. Did you respond to that?
I mean, you got the record, you tell me. I mean, if there's a text in there, I don't remember whether I did or I didn't.
Did you ask the mom to change the date of the baptism such that you could be there?
No, ma'am.
So you allowed it to go, and you didn't object to her being baptized,
No, ma'am.
and you allowed it to go forward?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you another text message because based on what, it doesn't appear that you've responded, but I'll show you a text message. Do you recognize it?
Yes, ma'am.
And mom reached out to you and said, Pastor Brett has every person write their testimony before they are baptized. This is sweet little Emma's. I want to follow God because I want to go to heaven. I want to be his daughter. I want to read the Bible. Jesus has done all these wonderful things for me. I hear God's words in Bible class at VBS at church when Pastor Brett is preaching, and God's word made me want to get baptized. I want to be baptized because I want to be with Jesus. What did you respond to that?
Well, I have to work, obviously.
I have to work. So you didn't address that. Is that what you mean when you say mom's too chatty?
No. I knew this was coming from her mother. So I knew this wasn't going straight to Emma. And I wanted to be clear about like my availability that week. So
Would you say this was an effort on mom's part to make you involved as much as you could be?
Yes, ma'am.
And then she also said that I just thought it important for her treasured daddy to hear her heart on this important decision.
So, I'm sorry,
And she also said that, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
So do you think she tries to co-parent to you and co-parent with you and involve her as much as she can?
No, I wouldn't.
Are you asking these to be make separate exhibits?
I guess they could be a collective exhibit. I'm sorry, I don't know what exhibit number we're on. You stated that you attend a lot of your daughter's school functions, or you implied that. Can you give us an exact number of how many functions you attended at the school this past school year that she was in Alexander City?
I think just one this past year, or this past first grade.
Okay, and so it's not that you're there at the school every other week attending an event. Is that fair?
Wish it could be, yes, ma'am.
If you were awarded primary custody, how would your current schedule allow you to meet all of your daughter's day-to-day needs?
I would be there with her. I would get her after school, get her at after school care during the week. And, I mean, it would be no different than what she was doing the last 2 years.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the mother worked at her school, and for some reason she chose to put her in after school care without my consent in the first grade, and then would leave school for a couple hours and come back and get her. Now, I don't know why she would leave, because Emma never told me. She said, Mama won't tell me. But if you're working there, I don't see why you can't take your kid away.
Was that a
when you leave.
special program, though? Do you know what the program did after school?
I have no idea. I wasn't informed of her going to any program in the first grade.
So you never received an email about the After the Bell program?
I received one before she started school in her kindergarten year, a year prior.
And she's been at After the Bell. It's an extracurricular activity after school.
I just assumed, yes, ma'am, that her mother was putting like other kids on the bus and car riders and doing that thing.
Would you agree that, extracurricular activities are a good thing for your daughter?
No, she doesn't need, it seemed to me the way she described them was, it was if you were struggling in certain areas, which my daughter wasn't. Or if she was, I wasn't made aware of.
Okay. Outside of work, you have hobbies, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you agree that hunting and fishing are important parts of your life?
Of course.
Okay, how often do you go hunting and fishing?
As often as I can do it, and that's something else I do with my daughter that she thoroughly enjoys.
So you take your daughter each time you go hunting and fishing?
Absolutely.
Is that something she you said that she enjoys that?
She really does.
What if when she's 9, showed no interest in it anymore? What would you do with her during that time period? Would you make her go hunting and fishing with you, or allow her to follow her own hobbies and interests?
I think a child's going to take interest in what you show interest in, and I wouldn't force that on her. If she wanted to read a book instead, I wouldn't discourage her from doing that. I'd have her make her own choices as far as her own interests. But as far as her being with me, she would be with me everywhere I went, just like she is now.
Were there any times that hunting and fishing have interfered with your parenting time or family time while you were married?
No, ma'am.
Would you be willing to adjust or reduce your hobby to prioritize parenting?
My little girl comes first, so yes, ma'am.
But have you ever actually had to do that?
I haven't needed to because she enjoys being with me.
And I just want to briefly touch on the email. You mentioned that mom left and sent you an email. In that email, did she discuss her concerns with use?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
So it wasn't something that was a surprise to you that this was an issue in your marriage?
No, that's something that got brought into our marriage prior.
And was that something that you and her attended retreats to address?
It is. The year prior to our divorce, we went to Missouri to, I forget the name of the retreat, but it was a couples retreat to try and work on building a relationship back again. And not that money's of any value, but I did make a noble effort to make it work with her mother. I spent $12,000 for that 1 week to try and make it work. I have, and even they said at the place, it doesn't sound like you have an addiction.
But you knew this was something that your wife couldn't live with. Is that fair? And was impacting your marriage?
For the purpose that she's trying, whether or not the wife could deal with it or not, it's not relevant.
Sustain the objection.
Are you addressing it in any way currently, your usage?
I don't see it as an issue doing it once every few months, so no, ma'am.
And just to confirm, you've never viewed that while your daughter is in your home?
No, ma'am.
What if she was in your home full time? How would that work?
Well, obviously I wouldn't do it while she was there.
And you have taken precautions to ensure that she doesn't ever stumble upon what you view?
Yes, ma'am.
I did want to talk a little bit about you mentioned that you have a big extended family. So could you remind me of who all lives within a short distance of your home?
I have my grandfather in Pleasant View. I have my Uncle Steve, my Aunt Jennifer in Pleasant View. I have my Uncle John and my Aunt Sharon in Pleasant View. I've got my cousin Morgan in Springfield. I've got my two cousins, Sarah and Wesley, in Pleasant View.
Have you ever had any of these family members assist you with childcare on a regular basis?
Not on a regular. I believe I had one watch Emma for a couple hours one evening.
So just one time do you feel comfortable reaching out to them for help?
Of course.
You just never had a need to?
I don't want to put that burden on anybody to watch my child when I want to have that time with her because I don't get it to begin with.
But your mother is also close by. Does your mother assist with your daughter?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Would you say that mom's family spends more time with your daughter than your side of the family?
It doesn't sound like it since they moved to Alberta because she's just told me a lot about how she missed her grandma and she don't get to see her.
But I guess historically has they been more involved in your family?
Before she left and took her out of the state, my family spent more time with Emma. But after they left, her family spent more time with Emma.
And you were okay with that? That was part of your letting her relocate to Alabama?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say that you are a good co-parent when it comes to communication?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, and I'm going to go through. Has mom offered you on occasions to take Emma on Thursday after work as opposed to Friday at 6 p.m.?
So the Thursday thing, and I spoke to the mother about this last summer when Emma's not in school. Obviously, she's available whatever day. I got her on a many of Thursdays during the summer because I don't have to work those Fridays. So I wanted as much time as I could get. And then when she told me she was taking her away from me down the coast, I knew that one, like I need to make sure I'm abiding by what the court ordered, the Friday through Sunday thing. On top of that, it got used against me in mediation that I wasn't getting all my summertime because she didn't count the days because they weren't consecutive. But when I get Thursday this week and Thursday this week and Thursday this week, it wasn't counted.
But
So it
you
was
agree that you were willing to take a Thursday last year, but not this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have there been occasions where mom has offered you more time and you just don't respond?
I've told her that we're going to stick to what the court ordered until this is over.
Do you recognize this text exchange from August 23rd?
Yes, I do recognize it.
So on Friday, August 23rd of this school year, or the last school year, mom said to you, next weekend, Emma will be out of school Monday. You are more than welcome to have her that Monday so you can have more time with her. Do you want to meet on that Monday, Labor Day? Did you respond to her?
No, ma'am. Prior to that, I had.
And then she asked again this upcoming week on that Monday after you didn't respond on Friday. She asked, this upcoming week, Emma will be out of school Monday. Do you want to have more time with Emma, meet on that Monday, Labor Day? Did you respond to that?
No, ma'am.
And then that Thursday on August 29th, she states, I guess I will take your silence as you not wanting that Monday with her. So we can just plan on meeting at our regular time on Sunday then.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that, I guess you think that's good? Is that good parenting to just let your silence mean status
I think
quo?
it's good parenting to ask a question that's already been answered. When I
A date, same day, you just can't see the response. You have would like to see the complete.
If your phone is in the car.
And I would just like to know that there is what appears to be some sort of, could have been from the mother, could have been from the father, but it's just incomplete. Not an incomplete, I mean, it's not a complete document.
Okay. Now I want to show you the text message exchanges that started on November 24th of this school year, this past school year. Do you recognize these text messages?
Yes, ma'am.
So mom asked you, because I'm guessing this was around when Thanksgiving. Hey, would you want to meet early Friday the 29th on Sunday, November 24th? Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And she then asked you again a few days later on Wednesday, November 27th. Hey, would you want to meet early Friday the 29th?
Yes, ma'am.
And then on November 28th, she asked you, when do you want to meet tomorrow? Which was Thanksgiving Day. Is that correct?
I guess that's the 25th. Is it?
Easter's on a Thursday, 28th. Sorry, I guess Thanksgiving's on a Thursday.
Okay. Yes.
And then you just finally responded normal time. Was there a reason you couldn't respond and communicate with mom?
I feel like that's plenty of communication. That's me stating that I don't want to change what we were already doing. I don't know how clear you can get. And I'm not a chatty, texty person, and obviously she is, but.
Okay. Now I want to show you a text exchange that occurred before Easter this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so mom sent you the Sunday prior to the Easter week. The next weekend that you have with with Emma is Easter weekend. Easter is my afforded holiday with her, so I will be meeting you at 6 p.m. Saturday night, like the parenting plan instructs. However, if you would like, I will switch weekends with you so you can have her a full weekend with her. What I mean by this is that I would have her Easter weekend and you could have her April 25th weekend and the next weekend that is back on our schedule, May 3rd weekend. I'll do whichever you prefer. She also stated, and this is the next page, also another option for you. She doesn't have school Friday that week, so we can meet Thursday after school, and then I would pick her, I'm assuming, but Saturday at 6, like the plan instructs. Please let me know which option you are interested in so I can plan accordingly. Then she sent you a picture on Monday, looks like. So you didn't respond to her that Sunday. And then on that Monday, you stated, we will stick to the same plan schedule for Easter weekend, picking her up on Friday at 6 p.m. This is your pickup time, correct? And dropping her off for your holiday Saturday night.
Correct.
So even you were given different options for extra parenting time, but you didn't take that up. Is that fair?
I did not want to deviate from what the court ordered because it had already been used against me.
Used against you in mediation, which you do know mediation. We're really not supposed to talk about mediation.
You guys are the attorneys here. I don't know what I'm supposed to say and not supposed to say.
But I mean, you didn't want that used against you, but you could have had extra time with your daughter just like you had the summer prior. I mean, you deviated prior, correct?
I did.
Okay. And I mean, isn't that best for your daughter to take that time?
I didn't think I was going to get in trouble for getting extra time from deviating from what the court ordered.
What do you mean get in trouble?
Well, I knew we were coming here. And so any little thing, obviously, that you guys can stack against me, I understand that's what's going to happen. And I didn't want that to be one of the things because I don't know how it can be worked.
Did you ask your attorney, hey, is it acceptable for me to take extra parenting time during the course of this litigation that's been ongoing?
No, ma'am.
But you had the option. I mean, you could have asked your attorney about her advice on that.
Of course I could have.
So that was just your thought process,
Yes, ma'am.
not what your attorney told you. Okay. I then want to show you, I mean, would you, and it goes on, but she also offered for you to have her today, even till the end of this, because she had to travel back and forth to pick her up from Alabama for this. Is that correct? What's been the exchange the last few days?
I dropped her off on Sunday.
And then she went. So she offered you to have her till the end of this trial because she'd be here anyway. Is that fair?
Yes, but she knows that I work this week, so I can't.
And you didn't respond to her regarding that. Is that fair?
No, I've told her we're going to stick to the schedule until all this is over with, repeatedly.
You can point to a text message of you stating that.
I'm sure if I kept records like she did, I'm sure I could point to a few. Yes, ma'am. But I'm not a spiteful person. I don't get dirt on people, and that's not my style. So that's just me. I'm sorry.
You think her just factually stating what y'all's conversations have been is getting dirt on you?
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Do you think mom would jump at an opportunity for more parenting time with her daughter? You think that's okay to agree to that?
In what sense?
I mean, you're asking to be primary. Do you think if the roles were reversed, mom would accept all the extra parenting time?
Sustained.
Mom has asked you before for your input on babysitters. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you respond to those messages about her options for babysitters?
Honestly, it's been a long time ago. I can't say whether I did or not. I'm sure you've got it there.
Do you recognize this text message?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So this was mom reaching out, hey, I have a dentist appointment tomorrow and dad is unavailable to watch her. I wanted to know if you would be okay if I reached out to a lady who substitutes at our school, but also teaches Bible study or Bible class, apologies, at our church to watch Emma for that time. I asked because we are supposed to agree on who watches her according to the legal parenting documents. And then she clarified that she's just going to go back with me. I called them back and they will allow it. So does mom reach out to you when it comes to decision making?
She has in this case, yes.
I mean, generally, would you say, I know she's chatty, but would she say she's a good co-parent?
In some areas she is. I'm not gonna take that from her. In some areas she's not.
Okay. And then I did want to talk about your income. So you responded to interrogatories, is that correct?
Set the questions.
Yes,
Yeah.
discover.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, no. And so you stated that your income, your gross annual income was $111,000, 475 cents. Is that correct? That was your gross income?
I think it was for that calendar year, the way I figured it.
And is your per hour rate still $59.41, or has that gone up?
That's the same. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So would you agree that you've seen mom's income from when she was a school teacher? Have you seen mom's
Prior
income?
to the divorce?
No, during discovery, when we sent you over our answers to the questions.
Yes, I believe it was on there.
So, would you agree that you make at least double what mom makes?
Absolutely not.
You don't agree that $111,000 is more than,
She makes roughly 5-6 grand a month and I make 7 something. How is that double?
we'll have to grab a calculator, but we'll round it to 112. That's about 10,000 a month. And if she makes 5, that's double. Would you agree to that?
No, I wouldn't. That is not double.
Okay. Sorry, you're making me do math. But you do make more than mom.
There's no argument in that.
Okay, so you would agree that, this litigation has probably been more difficult for mom to afford versus you.
Well, I imagine whatever they're keeping for the money side that they won't reveal. I'm not saying that it's harder on her than it is me because I can't speak on that. But they haven't give us the answers that we asked for.
What do you mean by that?
What her husband makes.
Oh, so you think she's relied on her husband to pay for attorney fees? Or that's your expectation?
They haven't given us the information, so I can't say.
Did you ever ask again for that information? It's
We
so
did.
important for you. But y'all never sent a deficiency letter.
I don't think you should have to ask twice.
Well, if it was very important to you, you could have certainly asked your counsel about that. Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions. Thank you.
She may redirect.
You were asked if, did you just voluntarily agree to accept 85 days of parenting time with your child? You didn't want to go from being with your child every day to 85 days, did you?
No, ma'am.
You didn't leave the marital residence with your child, did you?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Remain stable.
The mother left the marital residence with your child, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And ultimately, you and the mother came up with an agreement and you agreed that You would have 85 days of parenting time, but that's not what you wanted, was it?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And the parenting that's proposed, you were asked, if you were going to get more parenting time under mother's proposed parenting plan. That parenting plan may be the same amount of time or a little bit more, but you go for a long period of time without seeing your daughter. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And right now you're seeing your daughter sometimes 3 weekends a month. Is that correct? If there's more than 4 weekends in a month, sometimes there's 5.
Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
guess the way it falls.
And under the proposed parenting plan that Ms. Myers was referring to, often that would only have you having her 1 time per month. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it is different, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were asked about whether or not she was a stay-at-home mom and did she provide all the care and such. When you came home, when you came home from work, did you just sit in your recliner and watch TV and not help? Okay. What did you do when you came home from work?
Most of the time, if I come in and the house was a mess or whatever the case, I would tidy up a little bit,
Would you help
And-
with your daughter?
Of course, I would get cleaned up and then we'd get in our bedroom, get on the floor and play with these little magnetile things or whatever it was she was playing with at the time. We'd go out, we'd run the dogs. I've got beagle hounds and we enjoy getting out and running them, and we'd play around, do that kind of thing until it was time to eat and kind of turn in.
Okay. Would you help put her to bed sometimes?
Of course,
Help get her dressed sometimes?
of course,
Okay. Run errands with her sometimes?
of course.
Okay. And your extended family, they're all ready, willing, and able to help you. Is that true?
Absolutely.
Okay. And you said that there was a time up until you started being cautious about the parenting plan that you'd often take extra time. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, with your work, I mean, I'm assuming, I bet it's an accurate statement to say that you're pretty valuable to your work. Is that right?
I don't want to pat myself too much. I try to be humble, but
Are you good at what you do?
I am.
And I mean, you've been there eight years. Sometimes it's hard to get people to stay 8 days,
Yes, ma'am.
right? And so if you provide your work with enough notice, are they willing to be flexible with you?
I've already spoken to all my supervisors and they're on board with adjusting my schedule accordingly.
Is it more difficult if you just have a couple of days' notice in regards to flexibility?
I'm sorry.
Is it more difficult? For example, you were asked if you wanted to keep your daughter yesterday and then today. Well, today you're in court, right? Okay. And you were just asked a couple of days ago if you wanted to keep her yesterday. Do you need a little notice with work?
Not really. My boss and I kind of have I guess you'd call a verbal agreement,
Okay.
that whatever I need to do.
So how much notice do you need to give work? If these times when mom asked you for extra time, did you need to give work a little bit of notice?
I did. At the time, I wasn't per se as valuable, and so I didn't have a standing like I do with the company.
Okay.
But I am standing better with them now to where I can ask of a lot more.
Okay. And the income, your income fluctuates, doesn't it?
It really does. Yes, ma'am.
Are there years when you have a good year?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there
is.
years when it's a little not so good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you on track to make what you normally make this year, which is about $79,000?
Yes, ma'am. All right.
All right. And then I want to make sure, let's go through just a couple of these text messages. Number one, I think you testified that there might be a string of text messages where you haven't responded, but you've had phone communication with the mother.
Yes, ma'am. I do a lot of talking on the phone rather than texting because you can't.
And then do you communicate some at the pickup and the drop off?
I've tried, it's not very efficient.
Okay. And you were asked about the text messages about Easter, but I think they stopped where you said we'll stick to the same plan scheduled for Easter. You would read after she said, okay. What did you say?
Tell her I'm proud of her for sticking with her reading. She is so talented and smart.
All right. And her is Emma.
As, yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's all I have.
Any policy? Thank you, sir. You step in. You have another witness, Ms. Owens.
Short.
Let's go ahead and call her.
You gotta hurry it up. Murdoch.
You'll come up here, please, ma'am. We're going to ask you to step up in the witness box, face our clerk, and raise your right hand to be placed under oath. Thank you. Be careful, that seat tends to bend over backwards. And this is a terrible room for acoustics, so speak as loudly as you can into that microphone. Okay? Thank you.
All right, Ms. Murdoch, if you would state your name.
Abigail Murdoch.
All right, Ms. Murdoch, you're in a relationship with Matthew Smith, is that right?
Yes, it is.
All right, and how long have you been in a relationship with him?
It's been over a year and a half.
Over a year and a half, okay. And
I'm going to have difficulty hearing
Okay.
what you say. I'm trying to get up closer to that microphone. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
all right, and how often do you see Matthew?
We see each other every week.
Every week, okay. And you know Miss Emma Grace, is that right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to see Emma Grace and her dad interact?
I have. It's pretty special every time I do.
And I'm sorry, say that again?
It's pretty special every time I do.
Pretty special when you see it. Tell the court about that. What do you witness as far as their interactions and just their connection?
Yes, ma'am. It might make me emotional because my daughter doesn't have her dad in her life. And it's pretty special to see somebody who cares so much and so deeply about their daughter as Matt does, Emma Grace. She's just as excited to see him as he is to see her every time they get together. And even when they're apart, you can tell that they are yearning for each other and for time together. It's really hard to see them say goodbye as well, because I can tell that from what Emma has said and from what Matt has shared with me, they wish that they could just be together all of the time. And you can tell when you see them interact. It's very true. A lot of the times I see them interact, it's not just playful. It is usually, but he teaches her so many things, not just things around the house, like with chores, things that are important for her to be a good citizen, which is something that is extremely important as a parent, to make sure that we're raising kids that are going to be a valuable citizen across the board in any area of their life. But he also teaches her about cooking and about, interacting with the dogs that they have, and about things that are special, like time with family and time with God, and that can look different for everybody. It's also really cute to see them play together, because he gets just as silly as I do. And I joke that I have done a lot of work to heal my inner child, but I can see his come out whenever he's with her, and how they play it's pretty adorable to see their imaginations run wild. And she pretty much has very similar passions to him. So
Very similar what?
passions
Passions.
as he does. So being outdoors is something that you can tell that she really enjoys. I think that it's really unique to see a kid's imagination run wild because of somebody that is fostering that for her. And he does a really great job doing that. They are outdoors doing things that I know that he's ignited in me, like with fishing and hunting and hiking and things like that. I haven't seen them hike, but we've hiked. She does enjoy walking outside and playing, and she has toys that she'll play with outside too. And she loves reading so much, and they've read together, and she adores reading too, which is pretty cute.
All right. I was going to ask you, but I think you've just answered the question. Do you have any concerns about his parenting at all?
No, if someone could love someone too much, that would probably be the concern.
Oh, okay. And how's your relationship with Emma Grace?
It's pretty great. I have worked with children most of my life. I was in after school care when my daughter was really little. She's 15 now. So if that gives you an idea, working with kids is something that I'm good at anyway, but also I have a passion to be around children and raising children as a mom. I think that's something that I was always led to do anyway in my own life. But having a relationship with someone else's child is very unique and new to me. We kind of hit it off. I think the fact that I am playful anyway helps. And I like a lot of the things that she likes. I adore reading as well and being creative because of reading too. We also have talked about being outside and playing outside together, things that she's interested in. And playing at playgrounds is something that she finds a lot of fun too. She also likes the water, which is something that I absolutely love. So seeing her near water with her dad has been something that's, I guess, tugs at my heart.
Okay. All right. That's all I have. I'm going to pass you as the witness for opposing counsel. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Emma Grace interact with her mother?
I have.
Okay. Has that caused you any concern?
I don't know concern wise. It didn't seem that she was as eager to see her as I've seen her with her dad.
But you would say that this is a well-adjusted child, which is a credit to both parents.
What do you mean by well-adjusted?
I mean, you have no concerns. The child's behavior, is she a well-behaved child, well-adjusted?
She is.
And you would say usually that's a credit to both parents.
I would.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. That's your last witness. I assume you're gonna put on some proof.
Sure.
All right, let's go ahead and take a short recess. Let's stand a recess for 15 minutes.
All right.
Okay, so tomorrow is mom's side. She gives her testimony and we get to hear all that. Plus, I guess the closing arguments will be tomorrow. I haven't recorded that yet because he hasn't put that on yet. After mom's testimony, it was the end of the day, so they decided to wait until tomorrow to do it. So I'm going to do mom's testimony and the rest, whatever they do tomorrow. I guess the decision and everything. So I will wait till that comes and I'll show you that tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you tomorrow.